Howdy, howdy, people. I got a new microphone and apparently some lint on my shirt. I'm in my pajamas. It's my bedtime, even though it's bright as fuck outside. So I work. They put me on a new route. I requested the route actually. It pays pretty good, but I work midnight to noon now. That's a crazy schedule, right? So I've been up since 11 o'clock last night, and it is now almost 2 o'clock p.m. So gonna be my bedtime soon. Time for Epic Chasing Ghosts IPA right here in Salt Lake City. My favorite IPA. My favorite beer. I don't know if I ever drank my favorite beer on here. I think I did one time. Dragon's Milk, pretty good. So I said before a while back I didn't really want the channel to be like negative, but a lot of negative stuff's been happening over the last few weeks, and it's kind of all I've talked about. But I think y'all might notice that even if I talk about negative stuff, I'm kind of a happy-go-lucky person. Like, it might annoy somebody, I don't know. I try to smile a lot. Not try to smile, I do smile a lot. Like, I'm a genuinely happy, laid-back person. If you didn't notice, I'm even laying back right now. But I wanted to talk about, like, a couple of things got me thinking today about a topic to talk about. And really, what it boils down to is, you're going to see me in shorts here in a second. I got to grab some. What it boils down to is, I wanted to talk about how to, like, be happy. Don't worry, be happy. And how to do that. It's not hard. You might think it's hard. I had to grab that book for a reason. So, what prompted me to do this? What is like, usually I have something happens and I'll think of a topic and I'm like, oh, I should talk about it on my channel. So, what happened? So yesterday, was it yesterday or the day before? The days kind of blend in together for me now. One of my army buddies who pretty much is retiring, in the process of retiring from the military, the army. We got in about the same time. He ended up being, he ended up going active. I stayed in reserves, he went active. We've both been on deployments, but he went the warrant officer route and became an Apache pilot, so that's pretty badass. One of my best friends, one of my oldest friends. We've been friends ever since we met in ROTC in high school. But he's retiring, just had surgery on his wrist. So he's like home ridden right now, and it's driving him nuts. He's retired, so he's like used to being out and doing stuff, and he's had surgery, so he can't really like. I didn't know he had like a wrist surgery, so I was like, I've mentioned before painting Warcraft figurines. That's one of his hobbies, and I asked him, I was like, why aren't you painting your Warcraft figurines? Like, don't that makes you happy? He has an Instagram for it, but he's like, well, I can't do that because I had surgery on my wrist, and he's like just restless, and I'm like, okay, that makes sense. That shit sucks. I know what that feels like. So we just talked for a little bit, and he asked me, how do you do life in general without having like in-person friend time? Like, I keep in touch with all my friends, my old friends, my good friends. We talk on social media. We'll text, time to time. But I'm out here alone. Like, I don't know anybody in Utah. I moved out here by myself, period. And I don't really hang out with people here because I'm an outdoorsy person, but I'm not an outgoing person. So unless I'm actively dating somebody, I don't really go out and hang out with anybody. I just keep to myself. And he asked me how I do that. And I'm just like, it's my hobbies, man. Like, all my stuff's here. Like, I like video games and guitars and even the wall art, the books, my music, my vinyl record players over there. You hush. This is not about you, you little narcissist. All cats are narcissists. Can you see her? Kitty. I like the cat too, even though I talk trash to her. But yeah, that's why I was like, that's just my hobbies, really. That occupies me and it makes me happy. And that was the first thing that made me start thinking about this. But then today, I watched a Brett Cooper video. If you don't know Brett Cooper, you can look her up. You'll find her. She's great. Taylor Swift had another album come out within the past few days. And I only knew this because I went to Target and they had a sign up at Target that said, limit only 4 copies of Taylor Swift's album in vinyl form or CD form. 4 copies. Who's buying 4 copies of this? Like, what? Taylor Swift fans are crazy people. They're I don't understand it. I don't understand. I will buy one thing and that's all I need. I got my Metallica vinyls. You'll never see me buying multiple Metallica vinyls. What the hell are you doing? What do you buy? CDs, maybe. You have a home CD. You have a car CD. I can understand that. But vinyls? What? Anyway, if you don't know, I know you know who Taylor Swift is. And you might not know who Travis Kelce is. Is it Travis? Yeah, Travis. Played for Kansas City Chiefs. And him and Taylor Swift a couple years ago got together, formed a relationship, fell in love. And he just proposed. And she's going to get married. And I think she made an entire freaking album just out of nowhere because she was so happy. Now, do I care anything at all about Taylor Swift? No, I don't know any of her music. I couldn't name a single song. I don't know any lyrics. I know what one of her songs sounds like because it was played at all the stores everywhere all the time. But it's good when people are happy. It's a good thing. It should always be celebrated when people are happy, as long as they're not Jeffrey Dahmer or the Menendez twins or Ed Gein. I've been watching that series. The whole series is great. If you haven't seen the new Monster series with Charlie Hunnam as Ed Gein, freaking phenomenal. It's disturbing. I like horror. So, yeah, let's get off that topic. So, people being happy is a good thing. It's always going to be a good thing. Because if people are happy, they're not causing chaos and strife and negativity, striking up wars. So, of course, the fact that Taylor Swift fell in love with a white man and is happy that she's going to get married and have children has pissed liberals off. And they are turning on her. They are just vehemently bullying her now because they feel betrayed because she is not preaching about hating men. And she wants to get married and being single and being a piece of shit feminist. Like, they're mad at that. And this was absolute proof that liberal people are never happy. They cannot be satisfied. You can give them everything that they ask for, and this includes feminists. Everything they ask for, they will never be satisfied. They will never be happy. Their entire worldview and their politics and everything, their beliefs dictate that they be miserable and that they drag everyone else around them down. And I'm tired of that. And I think the world's tired of it. That's why there's kind of been a big pushback on leftism in this country. Thank the Lord that that's happening. So, this video is about how to be happy. And I'm saying that as a person who used to be a very negative person. I was not happy. I had a victim complex. I was liberal. And a lot of just bad stuff kept happening. And it made my worldview. Like, I viewed the world as unfair. And it is. The world is unfair. I viewed the world as horrible. And it can be. It can be horrible. I viewed the world as this place that hated me. The world does not hate me. I hated the world. There's a big difference there. So how do you be happy if you're in that position? If you hate everything, how do you get happy? If you were like me, just a bitter idiot, how do you get happy? Now, this is going to be aimed at a generalization, generally, because, you know, if you're disabled or having issues or for some reason can't work, you know, I understand. Those are extreme situations, but the average able-bodied person, this is who this is for. This is going to be 95% of people, okay? Men and women, but this is mostly aimed at men because I am a man, in case you didn't know. It's hard to tell with some people these days. So, number one, this is a book that will change your fucking life. The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck by Mark Manson. Now, This guy has his own YouTube. I'm telling you, go find Mark Manson's YouTube. But he actually talks about this book plenty. He's got another one that I think it's called Everything is Fucked. I think that's the name of it. I haven't read that one. I've read this one several times. It's excellent. My big brother was reading this, and he also said it changed his life. It changed his outlook. He's kind of like me. We act a lot alike. He is more successful than I am, and he has a family and kids and everything, and owns home and all that stuff. And his hobbies, really, his big hobby, is playing with dirt bikes. But well, I'm getting ahead of myself. Anyway, read this book. I'm gonna try to link the Amazon link to it. Now, if you buy this book, I do get a commission. If you buy it from Amazon through my link, I get a commission. I'm an Amazon associate. I've been on YouTube a long ass time. Not this channel, but different channels. But so yeah, if you go through Amazon and buy stuff with my link, I get a little bit of money, and it doesn't cost you anything. And no, I don't get your info. I don't want to know where you live. I don't care. The subtle art of not giving a fuck. What's this book about? Well, it's about not giving a fuck. In case you haven't noticed, I don't give a fuck about most things. Even stuff I talk about, I'm just like, if that doesn't apply to me, whatever. I have commentary and beliefs on things, but ultimately, it's not going to affect how I view the world. It's not going to affect how my mood is. And this book will help you get to a point where you are like that. And I'm telling you, that's a good way to live, is to not give a fuck. And this isn't about, it's not about not giving a fuck about anything. It's about choosing what to give a fuck about. You know, say, like I've talked about before, the Palestine thing. I don't give a fuck about that. Like, I'm sorry. Like, do I agree with genocide? Do I think that people should be getting killed? No, of course I don't agree with that. But I don't give a fuck. It doesn't apply to me. It doesn't affect me. I don't care. And people can preach to me all day that, oh, it does affect you. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. Because what's going on in Palestine? I mean, did I talk about this? Trump just helped negotiate a ceasefire with Israel and Palestine, and the hostages will be returned to Israel. So that's done now, hopefully. And I guarantee you the liberals, the unhappy, angry liberals are going to complain that it was Trump that did it. Because they're unhappy people, and they haven't found this book yet, because it will it will make them a little happier. So number 2, don't be a liberal. That's not even a joke. I know it sounds like a joke, but yeah, number 2, don't be a liberal. Because I've said it already. These people are unhappy. Their entire political side, the whole thing is about not being happy and complaining about everything. And if you surround yourself with negative people like that, they're going to make you negative. They're going to make you unhappy. You got to get away from that. Be a moderate. You could still care about things. Like I said, I'm still pretty liberal. I have pretty liberal views. But I'm not a liberal. I'm a moderate. I'm a centrist, almost libertarian. I just believe in taxes, so even they don't like me. But yeah, just don't be a liberal. And I mean, you can be blue Democrat without being a liberal. I think liberal is a dirty word now. A liberal is basically just being an idiot that lets other people tell you what to be mad at, and you don't know what you're mad at, but you're just mad because somebody told you to be mad and worried and bothered. And that's not a way to live. I'm sorry. Next up. What makes you happy? What would make you, look at all this stuff on my wall. These are my hobbies, man. You got my gaming headset right there, guitar, snowboard, my books. I said this already. I mean, those are my hobbies. I immediately asked my friend when he asked me how do I deal with not having friends nearby. I immediately said hobbies, and he said he was down and restless, and I asked him about his hobbies. Because if you have a hobby and you can occupy your mind and you're crafting something and working towards something that makes you happy, and hobbies do make you happy, then it's gonna make you happy. Like it's very simple. Sorry, I got something in my eye. I bought my Jeep. I have a Jeep Wrangler now, and I knew I wanted to go off-roading and camping, and I wanted a very rugged vehicle that I could turn into an apocalyptic survival vehicle. That's what I've been doing. That makes me happy. So I got one. Jeeps are expensive, I know, but I'll talk about money in a little bit. But I knew all the things that I wanted to do, camping, hiking, all that stuff. It just makes me happy. So hobbies, you gotta have hobbies. If you have no hobbies, you're probably an unhappy person. You probably are. So you gotta have a hobby. Somewhere, somehow, have a hobby. Number something. Make more money. I just had my Jeep. Jeep was expensive. Jeeps are expensive. They're expensive to own because they are not good on gas, and they tend to break down. Mine's been really good to me though. But anyway, if you can find a way to make more money, somehow, if you can find a way to make more money legally, without burning yourself out or working yourself to death, if you can find a way to make more money, you will eventually find a way to use that money to be happy. I don't, obviously money can't buy happiness. A person with a lot of money invented that phrase. Money doesn't buy happiness. It does buy things that make you happy. All these things make me. I have a nice apartment. It's a small apartment. I don't need a big apartment, but I love my apartment. I love my view. The freaking mountains are right out my window. And I mean, they're close. So money buys things that makes you happy. Money pays your bills that make you comfortable. Money buys you time to enjoy things that you like doing, like hobbies and yelling at liberals online and books to read, good books. I don't like nonfiction books that much. All my other books are like fantasy and sci-fi. Next up, make more money. That's simple. Next up, don't watch porn. Don't do it. Don't do it. We have an epidemic in this country with OnlyFans and porn in general, and it is taking over people's lives. And it becomes an addiction. It can become an addiction. Maybe not for everybody, but I know as a man, like watching porn can really mess with your head. There's been studies done on this, and it's been years now. But once I learned all this about how porn can really screw around with your head, mentally and physically, I just quit watching it. And I did. I got happier. I got happier. I didn't even care about watching it anymore. I was never an addict. I wasn't a porn addict. I didn't watch it all the time or anything like that. But here's a short story. I'm not going to give too many details because I don't want to put anybody's business out there, but I dated a girl a while back that had a porn addiction, a woman that had a porn addiction. And she could not, get there, so to speak, without watching porn. And it really bothered her. And I'm just like, well, you've been watching porn since you were like an early teenager, like 11, 12 years old, well before you lost your virginity. And that is why you can't do that anymore. You got to stop watching porn. You're never going to work. And it really bothered her. So there's that. It messes with you. Stop watching it. It messes with your view of relationships, of women in general. And it can cause erectile dysfunction. That's really going to screw with your head. So don't do it. Just quit watching it. You don't need it. If you feel the need to jerk the gherkin, then, I don't know, go run a mile. That's going to tie into what I'm about to say, actually. Damn, that was a good segue. Look, exercise. Exercise is next up. Actually, it's exercise and get outside. Go touch grass. I've done hiking videos on this channel. I've had y'all hike with me while I did videos. I go out and hike as much as I can, even if it's a short little one. I go out and hike. I get in my Jeep. I go out to the desert, go shooting. I go for a run. Get outside, go exercise. Do push-ups, do some sit-ups, go for a run or a walk if you can't run yet. But it is very much proven that exercise and being a little healthy gives you more energy and makes you, and just being healthy, your body's going to feel better. And if your body feels better, your mind feels better. And if your mind feels better, your body feels better. It just goes both ways. You've got to work on both. But yeah, get outside, exercise. It's not hard. Exercise is free. It doesn't even take any time. How long do you think it takes to get down and do 5 push-ups? I'm not going to do it because I'll make too much noise. Yes, I can do 5 push-ups. I can't do as many as I used to. When I was in the Army, I used to ace my PT test and get, I think that the highest number I ever got was like 107 push-ups in 2 minutes. I was in crazy shape, man. I could run a 6-minute mile. My last ever APFT, I got a 300, which is the highest score you could get at the time in the Army. I actually scored more than 300, but they only allow 300. And also the last time I qualified, when we went to the range, another one of my hobbies is shooting. The last time I qualified, right before I got out, I had been trying to do this my entire time in the Army. I got 40 out of 40 targets. They call that Hawkeye. That's right. I'm a Marvel character, boy. I did say it was a good shot, right? Next up. Y'all are gonna call me a hypocrite. Don't drink and do drugs. I drink, I don't give a fuck. That's my only vice, is drinking. That's my only vice. You can have a vice, just make sure it's not something that you're overdoing. I used to drink too much. I used to drink every single night. And it was just, I wasn't an alcoholic, it was just more, it's what I did to relax. And growing up as a kid, I always had something to drink, like a juice or like a soda or some water or something when I was a kid and a teenager. And then once alcohol came along, that became my thing that I was always holding and drinking. Now I quit drinking for like 6 months, 2 years ago, just because I wanted to. I just wanted to quit to see how it felt, and it did. It felt good. So I know that not drinking, I would feel better, but I'm already a pretty fit and happy person and healthy, and I cook. It's actually going to be one of my next things. But yeah, I've never been into drugs. I've smoked weed one time in my entire life, once. And the only other drug I ever tried was psilocybin, which was mushroom gummies, microdose. And I didn't really like that experience. I didn't like either of those. I didn't like the way they made me feel. I didn't like being high at all. So I was like, well, not doing that. And I don't like being drunk either. I don't like being drunk or buzzed. Just a little bit of relaxation that comes with a little bit of a drink. That's it. That's the only thing I like. I don't like being drunk or going out and partying. So that's gonna make you feel like shit. You got a hangover all day? You're gonna hate life, man. The day I turned 30, I started getting hangovers, and I said, I can't do this for the rest of my life. So yeah, I'll drink this one drink, and then I'll chill on the couch, might watch an episode of something or play a little bit of a video game, and then I'll go to bed after a bottle of water. Be healthy. You know, for every drink you drink, you should drink about a bottle of water so that you feel better the next day. That's what I do. So I try to be healthy. Even though I drink, I try to be healthy. Next up. But yeah, don't do drugs. Don't drink and don't do drugs. If you can avoid both of those, you're gonna feel so much better. Next up, eat healthy. And not just eat healthy. Now I know a lot of people are thinking, well, you know, food's expensive. Going to the grocery store is expensive. Of course it is. But I'm telling you, if you learn how to shop and what exactly you need to cook for you, if you're shopping for your family, it's gonna be expensive. If you just live alone, like I think most of the people that watch this channel are single guys like me. If you live alone, you need to learn to cook for yourself. I will tell you right now, you will feel 10 times better. You will save money. So I can make a crock pot full of gumbo, and if you've never had gumbo, thought I heard something outside. If you never had gumbo, it's one of the best meals ever. It's amazing. It's like a Cajun stew, chicken and sausage, stuff like that. Oh, it's amazing. It's so freaking good. And it only cost me, with some chicken thighs and the other ingredients, I can make a crock pot full of gumbo for $10. And I can either feed an entire family with that, or I can eat gumbo for a week straight. And I don't know, I understand if you don't want to eat the same thing every day, but that's meal prepping, man. If you can learn to meal prep and do it efficiently and cost effectively, you're going to eat healthy, you're going to save money. And both of those things are going to make you a happier person, bar none. But you got to learn to cook. You can't just go to freaking McDonald's every day and order pizza and ramen. Cook for yourself. Eat healthy and learn to cook, and meal prep, and you will, your mind and your body will reap the benefits of that. So, next up, this one's a big one. Cut toxic and negative people out. I had actually said this a couple of times on other videos. I'm not religious anymore, but I do believe in positive and negative energy. And negative people bring negative energy. If you're always negative, if you're always a skeptic, I've been up too long. If you're a skepticist, God, is that even a word? I am so tired right now. Skepticist. Skeptical. I know skeptical is a word. I was trying to come up with something else though. If you're always skeptical, then you will start to attract negativity. And this is proven. I don't know if it's CIA level proven or not. I know it's proven in my life. Like I said, the only really like 2 serious relationships I ever had, like real serious relationships, they were pretty negative people. And nothing was ever right. Like, and I'm not talking about them with our relationship. It's just shit kept going wrong all the time. All the time. Like, nothing ever felt right. Everything was always off. Something bad would happen. And when I got away from those people, magically my life got a little bit better because I'm a positive person. But the thing is, if you're around a negative person all the time, they're going to start to make you a little negative. You're going to start to become a negative person. Negative Nancy. And you will start to attract negativity. And negativity is bad. I don't need to explain that. You want to be a positive person. You got to be. And that's hard sometimes. It's hard when shit like the last few weeks keeps happening over and over and over. And it seems like everything's so horrible. It's hard to be positive, but you have to try. You got to try. Like, no matter what happens, you got to be like, what's the positive outcome of this? 99% of things that happen to you in your life that are negative also probably have a positive impact if you look at it that way. If you try to pull the positive out of something bad, you will always find something positive. At least I do. It works for me, dog. I already said be positive, so that was another key I had, but I already said that. We're almost done. So the last one is be polite. Just be polite. If you're nice to people, they will be nice back. I mean, you're always going to be assholes. There are going to be some people that are just rude pricks. And if somebody's mean to you, even just once per day, or even just once, if somebody's just mean to you one time, maybe they had a bad day, let it go. And, people would say words to you, they can be rude. It's not going to affect you. Now, obviously, if somebody's threatening you, then you got to learn to stand up for yourself and have a spine or know how to defend yourself, but that doesn't really happen. Most people are never going to be like that. Quick story, I'll try to end it quick. So my last job, I used to go to this warehouse, and I had deliveries to make to this warehouse almost every day. But when I first started working this job, I went to the warehouse for the first time, and there was a girl that worked there, a young girl, worked at the gate. And her entire job was basically just take the paperwork that I had and sign off on it, and open the gate, let me in, and I drop the trailer off and leave. That's it. That's all I did. So the first day I went in there, now I had been there before with the job that I had when I first moved here. I had been there, it had been a while. And she's like, have you been here before? And I was thinking with the current company. I was like, no, I haven't been here. And I was trying to say with the current company. She started rattling off the procedure for what to do. And I was like, I already knew how to get around and drop my trailer and everything like that. I'm like, and I kind of interrupted her, which I shouldn't do, but I did. But it was just like a polite interruption. It was like, oh, well, I mean, I've been here, just not with this company, sorry. That's all I meant. And then she looks at me and she goes, I don't remember exactly what she said, but it was really rude. And I was just like, Okay, that was uncalled for. You didn't need to be rude like that. But 2 or 3 times later, I kept coming back to this place, and she was rude every single time, every time. And finally, one day, I had to go in there and take an empty trailer, drop off my loaded trailer, and take an empty trailer and leave. And I'd never done that specific thing before. Usually, I just dropped the trailer off and left with no trailer. And I didn't know that I was supposed to ask to get a specific empty trailer. I thought I was just going to grab one. So I dropped my loaded trailer off. I grabbed the empty trailer, and and I might have told this story before on a different video, but I'm telling it again. I can't remember. So I'm leaving with the empty trailer, and I come to the gate, and she opens the door or the window, all pissed off, and she's like, "Next time, you know you're supposed to ask for an empty trailer, and we give you the specific empty trailer. The next time you do that, you just grab one. I'm making you turn around, you're dropping the empty trailer, and I'm not even going to give you one." Remember, this is like the 3rd or 4th time she's been rude to me. I'll give you one time, and if I'm feeling good, I'll give you another time. But I just looked her right in the face, in the eyeballs, and I said, "What part of the information that you just gave me required you to be a bitch?" And she, her eyes got wide as Montana, man, and she just, her mouth dropped everything. It was like comical. It was like some comedy movie bullshit. She's like the gall to call her that. And I just drove off. I was like, don't be a bitch. Don't be a bitch. Every time after that I went there, she was nice. I think she just had never been checked on her bullshit before. But she was a negative person. And I was like, don't act like that with me. I'm too positive. But don't be a bitch. That's why I don't like feminists. They're always like that. All right, we're done, y'all. My back hurts. I've been driving a lot. I drive like 8 hours a day now, every day. And I also unload the trailer. So my body's having to get used to that again. But again, that goes back to exercise. It's good. I like the exercise. So, y'all have a good one. I'm about to drink this beer and go to bed.